What's up, you guys? So I'm talking kind of quiet because I've got a baby sleeping on me. This video looks very different than my other weekly weight loss chats because basically in those videos my husband was able to watch the kiddo while I recorded them, and we're just getting to a season where that's becoming more difficult. And so I figure, well, I'm a weight loss coach who's also a mom, and so I'm gonna integrate this as best I can. So what that means is you don't get a very clean, professional looking video, you get a bootleg video. But the information I'm gonna share, hopefully if you start implementing it, you'll find that it's actually it's super professional. It's super effective. That's really all that matters. So in my last video, I gave just an intro to this series on my weight loss roadmap. So today I'm telling you the very first step I take with clients. So my very first step with clients is to set up a system for how to keep score. And this can be tricky because traditionally we keep our weight loss score by weighing ourselves and weighing ourselves only. And so for a lot of us who have gone through this process and failed, we might have experienced something like a little trauma around the scale. And on top of that, it's easy if you have experienced bad stuff around the scale to be afraid of it, or to try and use other means that are less specific, we'll say. So a very common one, I know I've used this in the past, is to say, well, I'm just going to use my clothes as an indicator of how I'm doing. And that, yes, that is a way that you can use. I've just found that the way the body works, it moves at a steady pace. Like if you are losing weight, it will lose steadily, but at such a slow pace that most people, I found, when they fail at losing weight, it's not because they weren't doing the thing properly, it's because they just didn't do it long enough. The best analogy I have for this is if you've raised a baby, or you've known kids in your life, you know that feeling of nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's like overnight they've grown. Well, they didn't grow overnight. They've been growing steadily. It's just you've been around them and you haven't noticed, and the body moves at a slow enough rate that you can't see it happening as it's happening. So the big thing with how we keep score is we want to see every little change, because that will help keep the ball rolling. That will help keep your motivation going. So the primary way that I keep score with my clients is by tracking weight, sleep, and steps. So I never just track weight, because weight alone isn't a clear picture. I like doing it in concert with other things, with sleep and steps. And really what that gets at is the sleep is telling me how much is the client recovering, and then the steps is telling me how much activity is the client getting, kind of a thing. And so really we're just trying to expand out the idea that your body is a much bigger picture than just a number on a scale. So what I recommend for my clients, what I have them all do, is I have a spreadsheet where we track their daily weight, sleep, and steps, and then I have a formula for each of those categories that calculates the average out for the week. So that's what we usually do. Now, every now and then I'll run across a client. I'll have a client who's like, no, I cannot weigh myself. Like, that's just not going to work for me. And if that's you, no sweat. I get it. What we do instead is we measure certain biomarkers, or biometrics, we'll say. So I have the list written down somewhere, but I'll try and remember it here. Those include energy, stress, sleep is on that as well, libido, I don't remember them now. I'll probably list them in the explanation for this, but they're less objective, we'll say. But if you actually start rating them, then you can use them in an objective way, if that makes sense. So and I can go into some detail as to why those are important, but like some people might question, like, well, why do you measure libido? Because if libido isn't working for you, that means other things in your life aren't working for you, such as nourishment and things like that. And again, even with those biometrics, you can put those on a spreadsheet the same way. So that is the next step. And so then what we do is I just tell my clients, hey, I just want you to track weight, sleep, and steps, or whatever alternatives you're using, for a week, and let's just see how your body is doing what you're doing now. So we don't change anything to begin with. I just want to see what you're doing. And so that's what I would recommend for you if you're following this roadmap, is start tracking weight, sleep, and steps, and just do it for a week, and don't intentionally change anything about how you're eating or moving or anything. Just let that, we're going to use it almost like a doctor might take your pulse. We're not trying to change anything. We just want to see what's going on. So that's the first step. If you've gotten to the end of this video and you're excited to try it, I am actually happy to share the spreadsheet that I use with my clients with you. So just comment below or private message me, and I'll be happy to shoot that over to you. So again, I apologize for the quality of this video. I know it's quite dark, but again, I am a weight loss coach who's also a mom, so we're just going to integrate this as best as we can, and hopefully the value is still there. So we'll talk soon. Take care.